You've reached the right place, the right channel. The Underdog Research Channel, and I'm the principal researcher of all things technology, Underdog Researcher, where we put the research over the hype. Let's get started. This is the Underdog Research Channel. I'm here with a video. I'm going to be answering some questions today as well as I can about a cryptocurrency project that I've talked about, sent videos about, called SWFT Coin. Now, this is going to be a little new, folks, so I'm going to try to organize it in a way that I think that'll be impactful. So this is what I've done. What I did was I took all the questions that were placed in the comments of any video I provided about this project. I organized those questions and I compiled them, and I'm going to try to respond to each and every question that was asked of me. Now, there's going to be several things we go over today, including going over the metaverse space and the Underdog community. Now, I cannot give 100% credit on the information I provide if whether or not that information is completely accurate, because I don't own the project and I only can base the information on the information that is available for public consumption. This is called open source research, folks. So only the information I can provide is what is available for you to look at yourself online through other means, but I have researched this thoroughly. Now, this is going to be a little different today because I'm going to be basically doing one of my videos live that I would normally do if I was alone and be able to take the time to do it. So you're going to see the behind the scenes process in which I work. I'm going to put it up as organized as possible. Now, before we get started, let me say one more thing. The information I'll release will be exclusively through the Underdog Metaverse community. I will show you exactly how to get there. I will actually also walk you through it today, show you how you can interact as a community so we can leverage this information to impact you in the most powerful way possible through collaboration. So without further ado, let's get started, folks. Let me pull up some of the information that we'll be talking about today as we search these topics. The first topic that we'll be talking about today is partnerships and business strategy. This was brought up to me in a question, and I'm going to put all the questions together that came up in that manner. Now, I'll be looking at some of the comments, and if you have other questions, please feel free to interact. Now, I won't be able to answer them while I'm answering these other questions, but I will go through these. So first question that came up that we will talk about is, what is SWFT's use case? So in order to answer that question, let me go ahead and bring up a document I prepared to answer that question. And this is what we can see. Here we go. So looking at SWFT Coin's use case, I think it's important for us to see exactly what we've talked about. In my first video, we discussed this question about what is the use case of SWFT Coin. Well, SWFT Coin and SWFT Coin blockchain is a system, a lightweight and efficient cryptocurrency exchange platform. It was created by experts in the field of artificial intelligence, information data, and blockchain. There's 4 principal things that SWFT Coin does. So if you want to know what is the utility, this is the utility. Number 1, fiat to fiat exchanges. You can take fiat, which is another way of saying money, and you can exchange it for other money forms throughout the world. That was the use case of SWFT Coin. Number 2, fiat to cryptocurrency. So you can take fiat and you can exchange it for cryptocurrency, which is another use case for SWFT Coin. Number 3, cryptocurrency to fiat. You can take cryptocurrencies of different virtual currencies and you can exchange them again for fiat, which is money. And lastly, the utility is cryptocurrency to cryptocurrency. You can take different variances of currencies and you can exchange them for other cryptocurrencies using Swift Coin. All transaction fees on Swift Coin platforms are made through the Swift Coin token. And there's the Swift Coin blockchain, which is the decentralized asset that allows you to swap these different exchanges. So another question that was asked that I will bring up, and I'm going to be navigating through, so bear with me as I navigate. One another question that I saw that was in that realm was as follows: how do you purchase Swift Coin? So we're going to go back to how do you purchase Swift Coin, and this is how you purchase it. If you want to purchase Swift Coin, one of the ways you can do so is simply go into CoinMarketCap. This is a website, and there's other websites, but CoinMarketCap shows you under markets all the different places you can purchase Swift Coin. Currently, from what I've looked at, there's 25 exchanges in which you can buy this project token called Swift Coin. Now, these are the top 10 exchanges. As you can see, you got HTX, Coinbase, OKX, Uniswap, Gate.io, KuCoin, etc. So that's where you can purchase this token. How do you purchase Swift is, again, the same question. You have to use your virtual cards. You can use your wallets, your debit cards, and you can use other cryptocurrencies to purchase it. Now, this is also under this question: how is Swift Coin going to earn profits and attract investors? So let's talk about that. Now, I'm going to go back and make sure that I have everything we need here. There'll be some things that we talked about. Now, how is Swift Coin going to earn profits and investors? Now, this is important. I brought this out in the Billionaire Blueprint. If you watched the first video, Swift Coin video, I showed you a lot of connections. I gave you an overview. I gave you the good and the bad about the project that people were saying, sentiment. That's so you can better understand the project. But in the Billion Dollar Blueprint, I broke it down because it was such a loaded conversation of different varying aspects. And I broke it down in two parts. But I also included the full plan. So let's talk about that plan for Swift Coin. How will you make money, or how do they plan, as their question was, to earn profits and attract investors? Well, let's talk about that. John Shin is instrumental. You need to pay attention. We oftentimes don't pay attention because if they're not celebrities or not famous, we don't want to pay attention. What I've shared with you is John Shin is a member of Swift team, and he was one of the originals, called Shin John, on the white paper. On October 25th, 2017, this was discussed in a Bitcoin forum, but I also found it on the white paper. And we found out that John Shin is ahead of the EB5, which is a immigration program that allows foreign investments by doing a few things. First, you need between $800,000 to $1 million that you invest in an American company. Second, you can come and immigrate yourself and your family members, but you have to open up 10 United States American jobs by doing so. And innovation is the area in which John Shin works at, and this is out of California. Now, did you know that California has one of the 5th largest economies in the world? I'm not talking about the United States. One of the 5th largest economy in the world is in California. And John Shin did this with Long Beach, and now he's doing with Irvine, California. Now, the question is being asked is, how is Swift Coin going to earn profits and attract investors? That's a great question. I think that's something that we all want to know. Well, this is what you should think about. Their goal and strategy appears to be, based on what we know, is to create money in these projects that are being built through Swift Coin by connecting innovation from China primarily, by using this EB5 investors program from the Department of Homeland Security and also the President of the United States that's been in place since 1992, since 1990, since both Democratic and Republican presidents, Democratic and Republican Congresses, and they passed this bill, and it's legislation that allow people to innovate the United States by bringing their talent here. Now, Park in Silicon Valley, where SWFT Coin is situated, they are a hub, and they have a space in both Beijing and they have a place in California. So what it appears to be is how they're going to earn profits and attract investors. I think the better question is the profits that you're referring to and investors retail, or are those investors going to be commercial? What it appears to be is more of a focus on commercial investors and less of a focus on retail investors, because if you can get the big hub of commercial investors, then their users of their products will use it by default. So that's the first thing. Change your mindset. That's what it appears to look like. Now, with that, how are they going to attract investors? Well, let me take myself off the screen so you can see what I'm showing you here. Now, one thing I think they're going to use to attract investors is John Shin and Silicon Valley, where SWFT Coin is located, where TI Park is located, has a 65% Asian population, followed second by Caucasian, Hispanic, Black, Hawaiian, Native American, and other. Now, that dominance of 65% Asian population has a direct connection with various Asian countries, but a lot of that is coming from China. And since that is a population, then they're marketing right now to the individuals in Asia who are in the United States. That is their key market from what you can see based on the information we know. Now, if you're looking at this from a standpoint of how they're going to do what you've asked, is how is SWFT Coin going to earn profits and attract investors? Again, this is in their white paper. This is their blueprint. According to their white paper, it says that they're going to have a twofold strategy. The user, that's what most of us retail investors think about. We think about how it affects us individually, but that's not how major business people work or billionaires work. These individuals think about the macro. We got to get out of that micro mentality. So if you're looking at the micro mentality, then what we're seeing here is that the SWFT Coin platform is made for an individual user service scenario. So we have that. You got your iPhone, you got your Android, you can use SWFT Coin, SWFT blockchain, depending on the region you're in currently at this moment. And if you look at that aspect, then it shows you in the white paper that you can do those four things I talked about. You can change cryptocurrencies. You can change fiat to cryptocurrencies. Those four primary things. And as you can see in the image, that you can see that the intent of this technology had an aspect which discussed the individual retail user. However, we have to also note what the same white paper discussed when it discussed this avenue of revenue, which was the commercial customer service. And here what we can see is that they have a bank and a company. The banks represent their aspects with their customer base, and companies have their customer base, and they can use the API, which allows any bank, any company to easily transfer those four areas that we discussed earlier. The same areas that you can send for a user, they can send larger amounts of money financing their customer base, and that is going to help them use the product. That is the utility. Now, as it shows you there in the diagram in SWFT Coin blockchain's white paper, the API connects you as the business, as the company, to services, and you are going to this bank And by them offering this service, you may want to stay at that bank because they're giving you a way to send money cheaper, less expensively, to connect to multiple different ways. If you have family internationally or in the United States, domestically, or wherever you may be, this is the utility use case. So that is what you see with that. Now, what other questions do you have? How are we going to earn profits we know about? Have you researched the involvement with CBDC and its participants? Now, that's for people, or you may not know what that means. That's central banking, digital currencies. So let's talk about that piece as well. So, in the billionaire blueprint unveiled, I did talk about some of these aspects, but let me remove that and I'm going to go to the exact space that where this is brought up in my research. So, as I look through, I'm going to bring this back into the fold. Now, I looked into this, but at the time in which I looked into that particular conversation, I have not deeply dived into it. So, for those who are tuning in right now, the question that was asked was, hey, the central bank digital currencies for cross border payments, have you looked into that piece? Well, I have now. Now, let me take this banner off so that you can actually see that part right here. And so, let me take that banner off. And so you can see exactly this. So in conducting research recently, I found a great article published from Washington, D.C. Now, this article published in Washington, D.C. is entitled Central Bank Digital Currencies for Cross-Border Payments, a review of current experiments and ideas. It was published in November of 2021. Man, a lot of things happened in 2021, didn't it? 2021 just seems like it was something different. I mean, we had a crash, but it seems like when the crash was occurring, big money was making moves, which makes sense. We buy low, sell high. So they do that as well on a bigger spectrum. But I digress. Now, this was released by the World Bank Group. That's who the article is by, who published it, but it had contributors all over. This is what I found in that article. On page 34, and I believe it has like 38 pages, and I have not read it all, just so you can have that full disclaimer. But on page 34, this is what it said. It asked about the person who sent this question. They asked about looking for the central banking, but I have another question that came up as well. And so let me pull this up as well. So a second question that came up during this time frame is there a link between SWFT Coin and HSBC Bank? I'm going to include both of these questions because the first question asked about central banking digital currencies, and then the second question was about a connection between HSBC Bank. So this is going to answer both questions. So according to this particular read that you see here, central bank digital currencies for cross-border payments, released on November 2021, and it was released by World Bank Group. And you can find that yourself. Everything I put up, you can find online yourself and look for yourself and read through it. It discusses that question. And the answer to your question is on page 34 in the end notes, it says, stakeholders, including a group of commercial banks led by HSBC. Let me put the question back up, folks, so that the person who asked can see this later and you can have that answer. So, led by HSBC, other commercial banks in the group were Overseas Chinese Banking Corporation, Toronto Dominion Bank, and United Overseas Bank, KPMG Services, and helped facilitate a workshop between these participants to discuss views on topics and compiled views from them to assist in the development of this report that we're reading. See cross-border interbank payment and settlements, emerging opportunities for digital transformation. Now, what I thought was so interesting too, as we look at that, is this part right here. Check this out, folks. In this same read that I just showed you, what we find is that this while we was looking at the central bank digital currencies for cross-border payments, I found that HSBC was a contributor to this report in 2021, published in Washington, D.C., in the good old United States of America. And this is what I found. It was also found on page 32, and let me take myself off so you can see that for yourselves, in a section called Stable Coins for Cross-Border Payments. It says, and I repeat, stablecoins for cross-border payments address these frictions. Solutions have emerged across different sectors. Large corporates and fintech operating on a global scale entering the payment space are able to address a number of these frictions through their reach in various jurisdictions. The firms are able to timely and transparently facilitate cross-border payments by simply engaging in transfer pricing activities between their operations across jurisdictions. In doing so, they are also potentially also benefit from the tax arbitrage. SWIFT, now notice this SWIFT is spelled SWIFT, so I'm assuming they're talking about the SWIFT payment system, but I haven't verified that yet. So we're going to read it as we see it. SWIFT has launched and is actively expanding the core functionality of its SWFT GPI platform discussed earlier to facilitate the instant and always on transmission of payments. Now, it continues to say about across borders. In addition to these initiatives, there has been an expansion of DLT-based payment protocols. Now, I saw that and I thought that was very interesting that this is referring to a payment across borders, but it's referring to stable coins. And as I know it, SWIFT, the system that is SWIFT that we know of in the financial system, is not a stable coin. So I found that very, very interesting. Now, this is what I also found interesting. With that in mind, continue to remember that this is about a digital currency cross border. What I found was that the stable coins that it's referring to in this section was also referring to something else. And give me a moment. I'm wonder if you can test to make sure my microphone is working correctly. It seems to be functioning, but then it starts to change. So we'll see. So this is what I found. Stablecoin refers to cross-border payments, class of digital currencies that are relatively stable in terms their price. Stablecoins offer instantaneous processing and security of payments as many cryptocurrencies do. They also offer stability with respect to their parity against the fiat currencies. Two digital currencies that fall into that category are Ripple Net's native digital currency, Ripple XRP, and Stellar Networks' native cryptocurrency, the Stellar Lumen XLM. Both Ripple and Stellar enable faster and more efficient cross-border payments relative to correspondent banking. However, they differ in that the former aims to improving cross-border settlement between international banks, whereas the latter aims at providing low-cost cross-border payment financial services to end users' unbanked population. Now, at any time, if you don't hear me for some reason, folks, let me know. Just simply leave a comment so I can try to address that. But I hope that you can hear the information I'm telling you. If you caught what I just read, in this banking information, it discusses these payments and it discusses that XLM and also Stellar, which we talked about a rumor that I will address later on as well. And it mentions SWIFT and underneath the stable coins avenue, and it even says SWFT. And I do know that SWIFT, SWIFT, the financial system which we use today, I do know that that is often sometimes called SWFT. But until I read through all this, I'm going to state that I'm not sure if it's referring to the SWIFT financial system or the SWIFT that we know of, because I need to read the full article, but you can read it for yourself right there. Now let's keep going and let's see what's going on next. And if someone would please give me a quick note in this live chat and a comment, let me know if you can hear me, and so I can continue and know if I need to make adjustments. So if I don't get any notification, I'm gonna keep on going. So let's get back to the questions at hand. So going to the questions at hand, let me pull up the next question. Can you find Swift's marketing plans? And let's talk about that. So I'm going to bring this up, and this is going to be something that we look at as well. And I think that's going to be under partnership. So let me bring that up right now. So the question is, can you find Swift's marketing plans for the upcoming bull market? All right, so let's go down and look at that right now. All right, here we go. So I'm going to show you the marketing plans that I see that are last updated. Now, as we can see here, the last updated marketing plans are from 2021. Now, in this, we see a roadmap by SWFT Coin. Now, the question asked about the marketing plan. So I have to give full disclosure. I'm not a part of the team of Swift. They haven't told me anything. So the only thing we can do without getting direct confirmation from their CMO or is to use our minds and put two and two together, because we're logical beings and we see how they move. But what I can show you is the last updated roadmap that I see, and we can look from the time that they listed this roadmap, which ended in 2021, and see what they have done since then. So let's talk about that a little bit. So looking at this, I'm looking at their roadmap. They said in quarter 2021, of quarter 2021, they would be listed on decentralized exchanges. They did that. Swift API would be integrated with HTS wallet. They did that. They had red packets. They did that. Swift also accepted listing fees. They did that. So they get paid fees when they are allowing people to use their blockchain. They also did what? Multi-chain Swift. They did that. Improved social sharing features. They did that. They have a decentralized app browser page. We've been through their page. They've done that. Swift decentralized finance staking. That is available as well. A news and market page. They have that in quarter 3. They have a decentralized aggregator ads. They talk about that. They support more chains. That is true. Swift listed on Coinbase. That happened as well. Swift surprises. Well, we know the surprises in 2021, but we'll get to that. They have a chat function with Swift. Swift adds fees for red packets and payments. Yes, that's in place. Swift lists on top exchanges and cross-chain decentralized exchanges. So far, all that is showing me that we are right on target. Everything that they said. And what have we found out since then? Well, since then, we found out that Swift has been busy. They've been making collaborations. They've been working with different partners. They have investors. They have been doing a lot. And so I have not found their current marketing plan because I'm not working for the company and I'm not privy to that. But what we have seen is that everything they stated they would fulfill in their 2021 roadmap, since that bear market crash in 2021, since their investment, which we'll talk about here soon, they have done. Now, I want to bring up another comment, and let me pull this up. One moment. Let me make sure that you all can see this. Here we go. Now, one of the things I think is important is to see exactly what they've shown us. I don't know where you're from, but where I'm from, it's not about what you say, it's what you do. So looking at that, I see that they had Christina Shin, who went in 2023 to the IEE Standards Association. Now, this was hosted by the Columbia Business School Student Government Executive Board, and this was in Silicon Valley leadership community. And she started talking. And what did she talk about? Well, she talked about a lot of information, but one of the things that she talked about that we all found out about was not that. We're going to get to that in a second. She talked about, let me pull this up. Do, do, do. Oh, I didn't put in this one, so I just have to speak to it. So let's go back to this. So during that conference, she let us know about the connection with MetaPath, that she was the CMO. And we start thinking about the marketing plans, and let's pull up the question again that was asked about the marketing plan. And let me pull this up for you. There we go. Now we start thinking about the marketing plans and how they move. Now I look at this and I think to myself, as a company, is it more important to get retail investors out of the same pot that everyone else does? Or can you be innovative and try to get big body investors? I'm talking about the big corporations and institutions. And that's what she referred to, that they saw that everyone was talking about, businesses and retail investors, AI. And since everyone was talking about AI, they found a way. And who is they? We know who they is. SWFT Coin and those other investors. They found a way to integrate that conversation using their AI technology they already have and create that sister, I'm going to call it a sister company called MetaPath. And by doing so, they didn't leave any money on the table. That's a term that we used to say, don't leave money on the table. Well, they didn't leave any money on the table. They said, okay, we got cross-border payments that we have. And we also have what? We also have NFTs, metaverse, and gaming. So let's be a swap for both of these areas. And that's exactly what they did. Now let's go a little bit past this question and see what other questions. So we're going to move to the next section that was asked, which was coin listings and exchanges. And let's go to that and let's pull up the question that was asked under this section. So it asks in this question, why doesn't Binance list SWIFT? Now, there's going to be a few questions that come up that I think are important to answer. So I'm going to try to answer as well as I can. The second question that came up in the comments by the community is, why is SWIFT on the BNB chain but not listed on Binance? And then there was a question, where can you sell the BNB version of SWIFT in the US? And then there's someone asked, where can you sell the BNB version in the US? And why is the volume low? So we'll get to the volume piece in a minute. Let's go back to the Binance question. Now, again, I want to make sure if everyone can hear me. I'm going to type in the chat. Somebody reach back to me. If you can hear me, let me know. And I'll try to answer this question or these questions right now. So let me find that information. Actually, in fact, let's do this. All right. You can hear me. Perfect. Perfect. So I'm glad you can. So now let me go ahead and take this banner off, and we're going to go to the internet and do a search that I have ready for you. All right. So let's share my screen and let's get you to the place that you need to get to answer, or as best as I can, answer that question. So we're going to go to Binance and let's pull this up. Now, you should be seeing my page right now, and you should see Binance. I'm going to try to make this big. All right. Now, what I see here is a Binance page which is the company Binance, and it talks about how companies get their token listed. Now, we can't go behind closed doors to fill in the pieces about that. No one here knows why and how they can get that done. But as best as we can, I'm going to try to show you what I found. So let me go ahead and put this on full screen. All right. And let's talk about it. Now, this is a frequently asked questions. You all can go to the same thing I did and you can look this up. This was posted. Look at this again, folks. 2021. I know Black Rule Investing, like, look, there's something into the numbers. I know. 2021 on 6/18/2021, Binance has this listed. And the question that's about Binance are right here. So here we go. So as you read through this, this is to blockchain companies. It talks about how you must apply to be on Binance. I read through that. What do you need to get your project listed on Binance? So let's read some of that, which is not everything, but I think that's important. So what do you need? What does SwiftCoin need to be listed on Binance? They must update their project progress to the community and us regularly. Well, we know that they haven't updated since 2021, so that would keep them from doing it. It must be weekly or monthly. However, they have updates through Swift Medium, and they have updates through their Twitter, or now they call it X page. So is this referring to updates meaning the white paper, or updates meaning their updates they have to their roadmap? I don't think so, but that would be applicable. So based on the updates we see in those spaces, they got that down. This is required even after listing on Binance. Number two, incorporate BNB in your ecosystem and raise BNB during your fundraising phase. Now, we know that that answers another question that we have here, which was what we saw earlier about BNB. So let me pull that question up. It says, why is Swift on BNB chain but not listed on Binance? So now we have that question answered. They did incorporate BNB in their ecosystem, and they did raise it during a fundraising stage. Support Binance in your community. They show support for Binance in their community. Here's important notes. Now, this is something that you need to know. So everyone thinks that when Binance, well, you can't just go to Binance. This is their rules that you cannot violate if you want your project to be there. Not saying that they did that, but I want you to know they can't just simply shill, as you will, their company. This is what you cannot do. They make this a little bit larger so those who are watching this, who don't go look for themselves, can see it. This is what it says. Do not ask our CEO for a status update of your application. Do not ask for a contact person. We don't allow projects to contact our review team to avoid biased influence as well as potential bribery attempts. Do not shill coins on our CEO, Twitter, social media, or chat. Instead, you should provide regular status updates to us through Binance listing application form weekly. Do not send your white paper to our CEO. Please note, even though our project might not be listed now, we may reconsider your application in the future when we see improvements to your project. So SwiftCoin cannot directly contact Binance. So when people say when Binance, they need to get Binance, that's up to Binance, 100% up to Binance. And from what I've seen from other blogs and other people talking about Binance listings, apparently Binance has monetary restraints as well about how much volume you must bring in, and those questions as well a day on top of these strict areas. Now, it says who will contact you after applying. So if you do apply, that's it. They said they'll talk about who would contact you, and they talked about two ways. Now, to submit your application to be on Binance for SwiftCoin, that's what we're talking about, folks. You either have a web page for a direct listing on Binance and a Launchpad launch pool application, and make sure you are not phishing site. So don't get robbed. These companies be getting robbed there as well. And so that is also something that you need to know. So you can't just go to Binance. You have to apply. And this site, if you want to go look at it yourself, folks, it's on Binance.com/English/support/frequently asked questions FAQ/how to get your coin listed on Binance. You can Google it and you can find it yourself as well. Now, reminders for projects, they also say do due diligence on the authenticity of communication from Binance. See, these companies be getting robbed too because they think they're talking to Binance and they get robbed. So that answers the question, though, of why they didn't list it, because Binance hasn't selected them. What we don't know, the better question is, have they applied to go to Binance? And we don't know. We do know there's financial scrutiny is also how much they received, and SWFT Coin hasn't brought in a lot of money if you compare it to some other projects over the last few years during the bear market. So again, they haven't had an opportunity to get to the point where they will be even listed on Binance. Now, if someone claims to have partnerships or listing agreements with Binance, they are lying or violating their agreement with us, which renders them void. Now, I want y'all to hear that. Did you hear that? You hear that? Let me read it again. This is Binance.com. If someone claims to have a partnership, quote unquote, or listing agreements with Binance, they are lying or violating their agreement with us, which renders them void. Now, I think this is so important because we sit here and we want the companies to give them all the information about what they're doing. And unfortunately, as you can see right here, sometimes that violates their agreements. They might have non-disclosures or listing agreements with these companies because there's financial regulations, and what people want them to do is counterproductive to what they can do and could cause them to be delisted or not be listed at all. So when we start asking these questions, some questions we cannot know. We won't know. Businesses work like this all the time. That's not unusual. It's hard though, right? Because you don't know what you don't know. And so I wanted to show you this because there is no one who can answer the Binance question online without violating Binance's agreement. It's right there in black and white. So if you see someone saying Swift is going this, it has to be a rumor. And because if Binance finds out, then they're not going to be on Binance. So I just want to share that with you. And I thought that was interesting. And so let's go and talk about a few other questions that have been asked. And let me go through. And I apologize for the little in between. This is what happens when you're live. I try to organize as well as possible, but this is what happens when you're live, folks. You got to work with what you got. Now, let me take this off here and let's go here. This is a good question. Where can you sell the BNB version of Swift in the US? Oh, I like that. That's a really good question. So let me pull this up. I'm going to do another screen share with you. I think we're done with the Binance part right now. Let me go to my screen share and let's share with you where you can go, and let me pull it up. This is going to be awesome. Well, folks, if you can see what I see right here, I'm going to move it over here to the side. What I pulled up for you is it's very black and dark, so I can't make it less. But you see I'm on MetaPath, folks. I'm on MetaPath. So you cannot use Swift.pro, but folks, you certainly can use MetaPath, which uses the exact same technology. I don't know about you, but did you know that Lexus also makes the Toyota Camry? The sports car, right? Or luxury car, I should say. Lexus, on the same assembly line, makes the Toyota Camry. That's why they look so similar. Now, why does that matter? Because this is not about Lexus, it's not about Toyota Camry. What I'm trying to make is, if the ingredients are similar, but they change a few parts, then what does it matter? I don't need to take my phone to download the Swift app because I can download MetaPath app right now. And I'll be releasing a video. And I think this is key. This is a great question. I need to talk about that. And let me take this one thing off here. But I think it's key that you know that. Because if we stay focused and harping on the things we can't do, we're missing the opportunity. It's to me, it's kind of counterproductive as well. Because if I'm driving in my car and there's a roadblock and there's police activity and they say there's a detour, why would I want to sit in the car and wait until the road's clear because I just got to be down that road instead of simply taking the route of least resistance and taking the detour? I don't need it to work in the United States if I can use MetaPath. So if you want to know the utility, then understand that SWFT Coin is the guts of MetaPath. We see it, it's in the white paper right there on MetaPath. You can go and you can look at that, but you can have a swap feature and you can do NFTs. So how about you do this? Press swap. There you go. Press swap. And to answer your question that you asked, let me pull this question up. There, that's not the one. I think it's this right here. This is what you could do. This is your options. I'm showing you options. Well, first, I don't know where you got the BNB version from. You know, most of people in the United States use the Ethereum version that is on Coinbase, right? Right. So if that's what they're using, then you would go back to the swap in which you got it from and find the pair and swap it. And then once you got the other token that you swapped it for in the first place, whether it's USDT or USDC or whatever you got, you swap that for another swap. You could also do this. I'm just going to show you folks, you know, these are just things I think about. You know, you download the MetaPath app, which we're going to talk about that a little bit more. This is a question that was a very good question. Here's a one called OPBNB. Now, I had to look that up. And matter of fact, I'm going to look it up again because I've never used OPBNB. So let me look that up and see what that means, the OPBNB meaning. And it means high performance layer 2 solution within the BNB ecosystem. And you can look at how you can convert OPBNB. And this is one way you convert it. Right here, I press swap. Okay, you follow me, folks? So if somebody does it later, no one has been showing you this. So you press swap, and it says from OPBNB, and look at that, BNB. And you swap it for, you pick the token. It has 800 blockchain tokens, but here's some primary. Here's USDT, USDC, RAM. You have all these Solana, Optimism, Polygon. Look, that's one thing I'm excited about. I'm glad the person asked that question because we have to start using the technology. We're so used to just being retail investors. Our knowledge and actually integrating the technology is small. And the problem with that is, and I'm not talking about the person who made that comment. I think it's a great comment. What I'm trying to say is, this is something that you're invested in, then why don't you help to increase your opportunity for the investment by actually utilizing the technology instead of not learning how to use it? So use MetaPath. If you're in the US, use SWFT Pro, start swapping. Start teaching people. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to be doing videos about how to use MetaPath, how to swap on it, how to connect your wallets to it. I'm going to start using it because it has 50% less fees. Matter of fact, I can do it for free, and you can swap in the MetaMask app. Now, I'm going off, and that's going to be a video that I do after I get some other ones down. But we got to start taking responsibility for our own investments. No one's giving you investment advice, but we got to start using it. So look, download the MetaPath app. You can do it on US, and you can do it in iOS and Android, and you can swap. So that answers your question. You can swap your BNB back with the OPBNB. You can do it on MetaPath without the SWFT Pro app. Now, I will be doing videos on that. You heard it here first. I'll be showing people step by step. I'll be using it. I'll be sending it back. I found some opportunities. I can actually make some really good trades by using this app. And I'm going to share it with you. I'm going to keep everything I research and I learned. I want to share it with you so that you can leverage it too. So it doesn't have to be one-sided, folks. We are not helpless. We are intelligent, bright, and savvy investors. Think about these billionaires. Are they waiting for someone to tell them what they need to do? No, they take action. They take initiative and they take responsibility for when they lose or make their gains. So if we want integration, we got to stop buying the tire and hoping someone gets the car. Instead, we need to buy the tires and the car and drive that joker. Let's drive it. That's how you protect your investment, is by you sharing it, learning it, and then teaching others. So that's what we're going to do. So that's the answer to that question. I hope that's helpful. And let's go to the next question. All right, I've answered that about where you can sell it. Use the MetaPath app. And I will show people how to do that, because I know we don't have a lot of time, and I don't either, but I think it's important that we learn how to use technology. That's why I want everyone to start using my metaverse space. I'm going to put less and less content, and I'm going to go over it on YouTube and on other centralized platforms, because that's not helping us as a community in Web3 learn if we keep going back and depending on Web2 technologies. No, if you want the information, if you like the research I provide for you, then you'll get it exclusively in my metaverse spaces so you can communicate, interact, and grow as a community. Right now, you can do all those things, but I'll go back after this, and let's keep going with these questions, folks. So here we go. Why is SWIFT volume low? So I can take this off the share screen. Let me go ahead and stop sharing. So volume. So I think this is a question that I have talked about, and I'm going to look at, I think I have a slide that addresses this. Here we go. Now, this is going to address two things. Let's talk about this. Why is SWIFT's volume low? This is what we know. Look, folks, this is what we know. We can verify this. I love this. I love sharing this information with you so you can look at my receipts, because they're not mine. This is what the company Coin, which is the owner of SWIFT and directly associated with MetaPath, reported to the state of California between 2017 and 2023. I can show you analytics. What they reported was that at the height between 2017, you see it right there, that is their report. Between 2017 and 2023, they were making, and you can see it for yourself. Let me make this large. All right, let me make this full screen. They were making between 120 and 150,000. So we're somewhere around 130,000 as a company. 130,000. You know, that's the thing. And if it's 130,000, that's not a lot of money. We think these people are all rich. Remember, the people associated with this, they had to put $1 million, almost $800,000 to $1 million to come over. And you know that Rambo Land was where the company was, in Singapore and in China. He had to put that much money with investors to come here through the EB5 program that John Shin is over. And that is cost of doing business. The company wasn't making money. The company wasn't making money. You weren't buying it. You weren't buying it. You weren't buying it. I wasn't buying it. I didn't even know about it. That's the thing about it. So from 130,000, they reported to the state of California. Now, could that be right, wrong? Look, I'm not here to go into conspiracy theory. I can only go with what they reported to the United States government. That's what they reported right there. Their sales yearly growth was 130,000, and you can see the arrow. I'll put it in black. What happened? I'm going to take this question off so you can see it for yourself, folks. I love information. 2021, crypto crashed, did it not? We've been in a 2-year bear market, have we not? Look at their sales. It plummeted like the rest of the market. What do we expect? We can't expect the company to make money out of nowhere. What do we expect? We put these expectations. I'm not shilling for the company. I'm not footing the company. I'm just giving you facts, analytical facts that you can look up. You go online and go to California, go to their state government, look at their websites, look up GoCoin Incorporated. Remember, there's two. Don't look at the one that's already out of business by John Shin, the LLC. Look up the one that is actually the other company, GoCoin Incorporated, the corporation. Look up their sales, what they reported to California. All of it's verifiable. If they lied, they lied. I can't tell you if they lied or not. Only thing I can go back is the open source information that I found. In 2021, sales dropped, cryptocurrency crashed simultaneously, and they are now, for the first time this bull market, have an opportunity. That's it. Nothing more, nothing less. To me, I don't see nothing more there. So that answers that question. Again, just in case you don't know me, I get excitable sometimes. So I'm not saying that there's nothing wrong with that question. I just want to make sure that people we just think this is business. This is not retail Joe and Jack exchanging money. This is business. It's a hard world. Companies go out of business within the first 5 years. Small businesses. This is a small business, and the cryptocurrency innovation section, very competitive. They had to put a lot of money up front. They had to get investors, and a lot is on the line. This person's whole life is on the line. If this company don't work, that's a problem for their visa. So that there's a lot on line for this person. So all I'm trying to say is this is what they reported. So to answer that question, that is what I see. Now, let's see. That's why the volume is low. Cryptocurrency crashed in 2021, which reflects in their actual sales for GoCoin. Why is the volume low? We got that question already. Here we go. Do you know how many tokens the team is holding or the allocations of them? I see 10 billion, total 4 billion circulating. And let me see if I have that up. I have that up somewhere. I may have brought it down, but if not, let's see here, folks. Let me take this off. I have it right over here. Let's bring this up. So, how many they're holding? Let's go to this. I'm going to take this question off. All right. This is the white paper. So I'm going to make this full screen, and let's go through the slide and see if we can find it. So according to the white paper, it's over here somewhere. That's another question. Just while we're here, transaction fees. SWFT Coin makes money and revenue. Someone asked that question as well off of transaction fees. So they don't care if your company, they don't care if your company is good, bad. That's why they're everywhere. If you get cheaper fees, they get fees from you. I think it's like 0.2% to 0.3%. And here's affordability. So let's go through this. I'm trying to find it. If I can't find it, I'll get back to you because I had it wrote down, but you know how it goes. I was trying to do a lot of things at once. All right. I can't see it right now. Here we go. Here we go. SWFT Coin distribution plan. 50% of all tokens will be distributed at the initial token sale and for community initiatives. This measure will ensure long-term growth of the SWIFT and the SWFT Coin tokens and will support the development of the platform from and 30% of all tokens will be distributed during the initial token sale. 20% of all tokens will be reserved as an asset to bring value to early investors and market promotion. 50% of all tokens will be distributed among founders and the development teams during the next 4 years. So that was 2017. That's interesting, folks. Oh, wow. I just now recognize that. That means 2021, where they made that big deal. But let's keep going with MetaPath. During the next 4 years, 50% of all tokens will be distributed for community initiatives, business development. There goes MetaPath, academic research, blockchain education, and market expansion. Market expansion. The distribution of this token percentage will be 12.5% per year for 4 years. 20% will be used for incentive founders, employees, and the development team. Each founder and employees will receive part of their compensation package in SWIFT Coin tokens, which will vest over 4 years. 25% of business development, market expansion, and investment. 25% of total tokens will be allocated to selected industries and projects, which includes funding for strategic planning. Oh my goodness, they said everything and they're doing it. Project support and coin swap initiatives. That's the MetaPath. That's the Swift coin. 5% for academic research and education. This part of the token supply will be used to sponsor education through research institutions or organizations dedicated to blockchain technology. I got to bring this up. I got to bring this up. Hey, folks, let me take this down. If you don't think Black Rue investing, you're crazy. Draper University, Black Rue investing. I wish I had his picture. I'll bring it up. He brought this up. I'm going to see if I can find his site, but if not, you know who he is. You know who he is, folks. Black Rue Investing has been on Draper like a dog on meat. He will not let go. And every time he's brought you this content about Draper Dragon, we have found that it is so entrenched with Draper Dragon, the American billionaire, in it. And education, they said that twice if you read the white paper. Draper Dragon was the original investor, Draper Dragon University. And we keep seeing individuals associated from Alex Witt, Christina Chen, all part of that Draper Dragon umbrella who are in this project. And Black Rue Investing, he has hours of Draper Dragon connections. And I'll tell you what, I'm going to be releasing a MetaPath videos. Woo, folks, when I tell you that Black Rue's spot on, Black Rue is spot on. Black Rue Investing, some connections that I'm going to bring out would not have been possible because I would not even been looking at that aspect until I watched every video of his 3 times. If you're not watching these research videos as if these research videos are the key to your investment, you're absolutely, I don't know what to call you, but it's absolutely ridiculous. Because let me tell you what you won't do. You wouldn't take $100 bill or $1,000 out your pocket, throw it in the air and say, I hope that it falls back and I have more money when it falls to the ground. No, you wouldn't, because you're not crazy. You would simply take the moment to think and strategize through like these business people do. Look, I take a lot of time. I'm talking about hours away from friends, family, and loved ones doing research. That's my own research. Why? Well, I have motivations. My motivation is to find for myself the best research possible for every dollar that I put into anything or a technology company. Because if I lose, I lose. And I understand that. But I want to win. I don't know about you, but I want to win. I'm the type of person who's going to be so obsessed with information that I don't go to sleep at night for days at a time. I don't think it's healthy, really. But if you got this content right here and I did the research for you, and you got Black Rue Investing, the third eye, and you're still watching these videos, but you're not subscribing, you're not going back, and you're not reviewing the information, checking it and finding out, I don't know how you invest, but that's haphazard. I don't do haphazard stuff. So that's why we don't give investment advice. We give research information. You have to take the time to care more about your money than I do, because I care a lot about my own positions and I care about my future. So if you don't care that much about your information, then don't watch it. But if you care, then check out Black Rue Investing. Take the Saturday, Sunday, Monday, take as much time to study as we take the research, and you'll be all right. All right, so let's keep going, folks. Let's keep going. I want to get through all these questions, and I appreciate you being here. I appreciate it. I really do. We have been in, and let me pull up this section. So we've been looking at coin listing exchanges, and we went through the questions about volume. A lot of questions, folks. I had 43 questions, and I went through most of them now. And we just went through the allocation. So now we're in Swift Coin information and characteristics. That's the category. And we just answered a question about the allocation. All right. Now, there have been conversations, and I really can't answer it for you, but it talks about there's a difference between CoinGecko listing of how many circulating supply and a difference between coin market cap. And, honestly, I believe that CoinGecko listed them first. I haven't looked, but I would just go with that. Does it make a difference? Yeah. Overall, it might make a difference about how much profit and not, but honestly, it don't make much difference for me. I don't buy things or invest in things because I'm thinking about today's price action. If you notice my videos, you rarely hear me talk about price action. I actually don't like to talk about price action unless I absolutely have to because I see an intersection. But I am not exactly sure. I plan on reaching out to both the developer, the Ramble Land, Christina Chan. I'm gonna send them an email if they're responsive. Hopefully they respond back. I would love to talk to them. Love to bring them on to the channel. And also, I have their emails. I put it in the first video and the Billionaire Blueprint. So, hey, community, send an email on your own and say, hey, Underdog Research Channel wants to interview you. We would love to hear from you. Go on their Twitter. Get them over to talk to me. I would love to talk to them. So if you get this video and you want to take action, then I'll be fair, unbiased, and I will go in and ask questions I think that people want to know, and also get a gist of questions that other people have asked that they may not be aware of. So let's do that, okay? So let's go back to the questions. All right, second question. Here we go. Folks, you ready? Let's talk about Stellar and Swift Coin Link were removed from CoinDar. What is your thoughts? I'm going to tell you what my thoughts are. I'm glad you brought that up. Let's go ahead, and I've been waiting for that one. So I'm going to bring this up because I've been waiting for that question because I haven't done an update since then. And I think it's important that we talk about these updates. All right. Give me a second, folks. Oh, here we go. Here we go. Yes. All right, folks. Let's clear the air. Let's clear the air. So, everyone knows I did a video that I called Buy the Rumor, Sell the News, Swift Blockchain, #release, MoneyGram non-custodial wallet, launch March 31st, 2024. Let me go ahead and show you two for people to back. This was listed on one site I also told you, and that was CoinDar. Now, I posted this too because I knew that sometimes things have a tendency to get deleted when you talk about it, And so I made sure that I posted this and kept the receipts. We see that it has 16 stars that people started. And to the right, there's 54 views on that particular post right there. And it says Swift Blockchain to release MoneyGram wallet in Q1, March 31st, 2024. It said it would go live. And at the bottom in green, I'll put a check mark. And it says Swift Blockchain will launch a non-custodial wallet. This wallet which is being built on the Stellar network, y'all see it right there, is expected to revolutionize remittances and appeal to cryptocurrency enthusiasts. The launch of this wallet is scheduled for the first quarter of 2024. Show me where the lies was, folks. I told you it's a rumor, but I had a problem with it because they only had one source, CoinDar. But I'm not done. Let's talk about that. Somebody wants to talk about it. I want to talk about it. Let's go to that area. So let me find what I am looking for here. Here we go. Let's talk about this, folks. I know you're interested. You got to be interested. Now look at this. So I'm going to move this over here. Let me 1 second. I told you that live piece, it makes it a little bit difficult sometimes. So let me move this over here so I can navigate it. All right. Now, there we go. I'm going to make this big. I'm going to make this big. You see that at the top? I know you do. I'm gonna make it bigger because I want Swift Coin to know that you can't fool the Underdog Researcher. This is Swift blockchain, and this is who updates the site. Now we know this is true because of this right here. Let me go down. One, as you look through this, there is cohesiveness. It shows from current updates and posts 2 months ago, showing January mobile app update, December of 2023. This has been cohesive. AMA on Twitter. I click on these links. I go to the site. Now, this is a cohesive history of historical events. And at each and every link, and you can go to more, and I'm going to go at the bottom. I'm going to skip, folks. I'm going to go. I like going to the past because sometimes you go to the past, it can show you the future. So if you look at this and you go through every listing, this delisting is all from Swift blockchain. Whoever they have over their media is the person who posted that link. And since they're the person who posted that link, we as consumers have to believe them. You have to believe them. And and the thing about that is there's a few reasons why they could have posted that link. Now, here we go. Here we go. During the whole time of Swift blockchain monitoring, 77 events were added, 29 AMA sessions, 19 partnerships, 16 exchange events, 4 events related to earnings, 2 releases, 2 conference participants, 2 contests, 1 branding event, 1 update, 1 meetup. Now, who would be updating this other than Swift Coin faculty and staff? Because I know I'm not. If you're not paying me, I'm not going to be updating it. So 5 years ago, at the very beginning, when we go back through this, at the very beginning, we can see that this account right here on Swift blockchain has been in the custody and control of some individual associated with the company who has the time and fortitude and who's being paid to regularly update their site. So the question is, the question is, why did you remove this link? From what I've been told and what I can see, this no longer is there. And I told you it was a rumor, but it wasn't until I brought it out. It's been sitting there, and it wasn't until I brought it out that it was deleted. Now, remember what Binance said? Let me go ahead and talk to you real quick. You remember what Binance said? Binance said, if anyone says they partner with us, they're lying. They didn't say they're not telling the truth. They said they're lying. And if we are partnering with them and they do tell them about our listing, they will no longer be partnering with us. So this is all I got to say. I was told from other people who went to the Swift Telegram. Let me pull it up because these are questions. And the only person who can answer that question is Swift and Swift staff. But this is what I was told. Let me pull this up. 1 second. Let me pull it up. Here we go. Oh, I can't find it. So let me pull up. What I saw was I was told that it was taken down. I have now confirmed they have taken down the reference to this right here. And there is no reference to MoneyGram non-custodial. But that actually told me more than what they expected to tell me. By them taking it down, it lets me know that it was in the custody and control of who? Swift Coin. Because if otherwise, it would have been taken down. If Joe Blow was uploading this information and he just happened to do it, then Joe Blow wouldn't have taken the time to take it down. See, a company would take it down if they didn't strategically want to release that information, or they're correcting it, but they never corrected it, did they? See, it would be easy to just simply put up a retraction. That's what they call it in the news. This was being reported, guys. Here we go. MoneyGram non-custodial wallet, first quarter. This is not happening. What I think happened is what someone said. I think that someone may have jumped the gun. I think that not everything should be disclosed publicly because there's NDAs involved and other things. Now, can I say, no, this is speculation. So here's my post, speculation, but likely based on the reaction, it was a company, someone associated with the project. Otherwise, who of you go back to your MySpace pages and deletes comments you made? Who of you goes back to your Facebook from 2 years ago or a year ago and deletes comments? That's not actions of an individual person. That's an action of a company who may have had an employee who said too much. Now, the only question is there any truth to it? And no one's going to be able to tell you besides Swift Coin, Swift blockchain. But the rumor still stands. It was stated by the owner of the account on Coindor, which we've shown to be associated with someone directly in contact with the project Swift, that they stated that they have a non-custodial wallet built on the Stellar network. And I have other information about that too, such as what I've researched, that it says the Stellar network in this particular collaboration was open sourced, which would give Swift the opportunity and ability, if it's an open source project, to use their technology. So I'm going to stand where I am on that. If the company says that they have no collaboration, then I believe them. If the company says they have a collaboration, I believe them. So you know what my standing is for those who asking my personal opinion? I want the company to tell us if they can. If this information is incorrect, then simply state that the information is incorrect. Seems like a very easy thing to do. State on your Twitter page, this information is incorrect. But if you're not stating it's not incorrect, then legally, maybe you have a non-disclosure agreement, speculation, or maybe you can't state whether or not it's incorrect, which by not stating it, I have to assume that the information is correct. So that's my speculation, folks. There's no way I can tell you, but to date, I have not seen, other than the removal of this from the Coindor site, any Swift member team actually denying that this is true. I've heard it happen in Telegram, but it has not been publicly stated. I think that it's important, but if they can't, we understand. All right, that's all I got for that. Let's move on. And next, we're going to move on to, let's go see right now. So we have a couple more questions. We have a few more questions. So let me pull it through. And you'll see different ones coming up. If I talked about it before, just ignore it. I am looking for the questions, a lot of questions here. And I want to make sure I don't miss anyone's questions that they asked. Here we go. This answers the same question. I'm going to show my face again. Could Coindor's removal of the announcement about Swift blockchain's MoneyGram wallet be due to an NDA? All right. This is speculation. We're starting off with that. I don't work for Swift. I cannot confirm that that's NDA. However, I think that your suggestion, the comment was made by a community member who asked in the comments, is a plausible possibility. But it is not open source information. It's not readily publicly digestible for us to know. And I have not seen yet any refusal to deny this existence of a collaboration. So there's no way we can tell you. But I think that is a good thinking. That could happen. I think it could happen. All right, let's go to the next question. Can you clarify the connection between Swift and XLM mentioned in the Swift Telegram? So only thing I can clarify is what I've talked about before. All we're looking at, and when I say we're, during the course of my research, I found one source that stated this, which we know Swift blockchain is in control of this site because consistently since 2018, they've had over 77 posts, and all those things I just showed you, someone specifically is doing that. And I don't know about you, but I can assume that not many people are following any project and constantly keeping these updates. Okay. Some of this stuff we got to put two and two together and make four. So based on that, the only connection I saw directly was this post. Now, I don't have any more information about that. I'm just showing you the rumor that I found that was on CoinDar from one source. That's all I got on that one. All right, let's see here. Do you know how many tokens? We already talked about the tokens in the team. And let's see. We already talked about XLM. All right. Now, the question about could Swift be connected to MoneyGram due to XN Shing's patents? So, no, I don't think it would be at all. And let me explain that. I think that's a good question. Thank you. So, XN Shing is an inventor. They have over 20 patents that I found. I think that they are a inventor for hire, meaning that these companies bring them in, they create technologies along with their researchers, and the finished product was actually provided funding by companies and investors. And then XN Shing goes to different places. I don't think XN Shing is connected to MoneyGram that I've seen. But at the same time, I have not read all 21 of their scientific papers on the patents that they filed either. And they also associated with the University of North Carolina, and they have a lot of academic papers. I haven't taken the time to look through it. And even if I did, there would not be a way for me to validate whether or not they have a direct connection with these companies because I'm not in those boardrooms or behind the closed doors. All we have as investors is our research, and we bring it together. And then you have to make those connections if you see a connection, but make connections based on strong information. Try not to make connections based on lack of evidence. I'm research-based, very objective. So that's what I have about that. I don't think that she has anything to do with a MoneyGram connection, but I absolutely don't know. All right. And it's okay to say you don't know. I don't know. I have no idea. All right. Let's keep going. CoinDar removing the announcement. They pull it back up. Y'all are very interested in CoinDar, apparently. CoinDar removing the announcement regarding Swift blockchain to release MoneyGram non-custodial wallet. Is it possible this was removed because Swift had signed an NDA with MoneyGram and this information? So same information as I said before. I don't know. I think that's a good way to think. I think it's a possibility, but just like any other possibility, it's very possible. But there's none of us who going to know because if there is an NDA, some NDAs don't even allow you to tell there's an existence of an NDA, where other NDAs allow you to tell you that there is an existence of NDA, but you can't talk about the partnership. So if there is NDA, we'll never know unless they release it, and then they won't have an NDA. So hope that's clear as mud. I'm confused with this coin. Why didn't it go up in 2021? All right, that's a very, very good question. So I'm going to take off the sharing for that. And let's go to that question. That's a great question. Thank you very much. So I'm going to pull this up. So why it didn't go up in 2021, let me take off this, is because of the market. In 2021, we see that GooCoin Incorporated sales shows a crash, and that's consistent with the market. We've had a bear market. It's 2024. We haven't even started to see a huge increase in volume from a lot of tokens. However, on March 5th, 2024, at 2:54 p.m., if you're in Swift Coin, I told you you need to pay attention. That means you hadn't watched my video. If you watch my video, you know exactly what happened on March 5th, 2024 at 2:54 p.m. Black Rue Investing tried to tell you too. I hope y'all watching my videos and completely. So that's what happened. So according to the information we know, Swift Coin had a crash in their price, and that's because the market overall went down. So that is what the answer I have found through my research has led me to. Let me see what else I can find because I get thrown off when I had to keep going back and forth. So let's see here. Here we go. I hold some Swift, but what makes this time different for Swift? Didn't do anything the last bull run. Oh, I love this question. I love this question. Thank you very much. Not You're not gonna get her yet. Let me answer this question the best I can. And I think that is a great question to ask, actually. Thank you very much. Let me find my materials for that. Yes, yes, yes. Okay, I went too far. So let's keep going. Let me find it. This is the part about doing live. You get the in between. Here we go. Oh, yes, yes, yes. Here we go. Oh, yes. Here we go. I love this question. Thank you. Thank you for asking that question. All right. Here we go. So I'm going to go and answer the question. It says, I hold Swift, but what makes this different for Swift? Didn't do anything last time. Well, I'm not going to bring it up again, but I just showed you what happened in. So let's talk it through. I want you to walk through with me. Okay. In 2017, the token started to go live. Okay. 2018, we see it gets listed. We saw the roadmap. Now it's brand new. A big investment happened before it was listed, right? Venture capital funds. All right. So venture capital funds were introduced. We know that's true. Draper Dragon is one of the first ones that we know about, but we also found there was other investors like John Shin, other investors I hadn't even had the time to mention. We know that it cost at least $1 million, 800,000 to $1 million under the EB5 program. All right. And we know that it's attached to a person's visa. Now you're like, what does that matter? This is why. So this money was infused in this project. 2018 is really released. That's where you see even on CoinDar, they don't even start noting anything to 2018. Company formed in 2017, GooCoin, 2018 release of tokens. So separate the two. Company, GooCoin, tokens, Swift blockchain, Swift token. You got to separate the two. The company started 2017. We saw that when I researched the patent, and we saw that the company started by who? Rambleland. We then see that 6 months later, this corporation, GooCoin Incorporated, let me pull it up. GooCoin Incorporated, 6 months later, we saw what happened next. John Shin starts a limited liability corporation, and he does that. Why? I brought that out to print because it is better to have a corporation when you have capital and you're trying to raise funds. But then there's liabilities and taxes because you have to pay the dividends and investor fees. So John Shin worked to help them move that money from that corporation into an LLC for about 6 months before he discontinued and terminated the LLC. But it gave them that hedge. So now we're in 2018, folks, and that money came from it, and they protected that money the best way they could from taxes legally. And now you got 2018. We saw the roadmap, 19, 20, 21. We walked through the roadmap, and they did everything in the roadmap. They got different listings. They're working on their application, their app, the downloadable Swift Pro app. They did all those things. They stopped in quarter 24. They said it had surprises, and this is what happened. And I brought it out in the Billionaire Blueprint. This is what happened. Because here's the question. Oh, Swift, but what makes this time different? Didn't do anything last bull run. It couldn't. By the time the last bull run is, it's 2021. Check the facts. We saw it. 2021 is also the crash. So the bull was during 2020, and in 2020, they were still in their infancy stage, still building on apps, applications, building connections. They're new. They're a small business with investors. 2021, crypto crash, market crash, and we just been in this for 2 years. But we keep saying two. It's 2.5 because it's 2024 right now, and the bull market hasn't started, right? got 2.5 years of everybody in a bad bear market. So 2021, that's what you said. So let's go through it. This is what happened. Let me take this question off. Okay. So here's your question. What makes it different this time? This is my speculation, folks. We got Christina Chin and Ramble Land of Swift Coin who created something together. And what did they do in 2021? That's the part. Well, they told us what they did. We just didn't hear them because we wasn't in the project, probably. April 14, 2023, at the IEE Metaverse Congress, Session 11, Advancing Metaverse for Economic Growth and Sustainability. I'll say it again. They said in 2021 in their roadmap, they was going to build connections and expand their reach. That is it. Economic growth and sustainability. This is 2023. This is last year, less than a year ago. And what did we find out? Well, the AI connection with MetaPath and Swift blockchain. That is the connection. And this is why it's different. Because in 2021, we see right there with our own eyes, I put it in green at the top, the bottom, and the right. 2021, when you asked what happened, what makes it different this time, they now have got their big brother and they got a MetaPath twin to help bring in more money by having more companies that will partner with them using their technology, it and get those 2.4, 2.2 and 0.3% fees from outgoing and off-ramping and on-ramping cryptocurrencies, fiat, the four things that SwiftCoin does, I talked about, venture capital-backed Shima Capital and other investors, which I'll be talking about. Watch my videos on MetaPath. Now, we know that this investment had billionaires. I gave you several, about 8 billionaires and big names, and they directly invested in MetaPath. Here's Shima Capital. That is the CEO who started this piece with those billionaire investors giving financing between how much? $500,000 to $2 million of money. That didn't happen until 2020. That makes it a lot different than what happened in 2017, wouldn't you think? So then let's go further. What does MetaPath do? If you're not putting in the calculations of MetaPath, then it's like you're not actually trying to relate the money. We have to make connections. We got to fill in the gaps, and I filled in that gap. MetaPath transfers tokens across all major blockchains. MetaPath, cross-chain NFT swaps. If there's money in NFTs and you can get it to multiple platforms, MetaPath wants that money. Show me the money. They want your money and your NFTs. Buy, gamify. Gaming is billion-dollar industries, and they're in the gaming. And it's also called Path.finance. And it's easy and accessible, downloadable on this. That wasn't available in 2017 and 18. What makes it different? Now they got a big brother who can take out those pieces with not just finances and blockchain, but NFTs and also cross-chain, gamify, and these other blockchains. That's huge. That's hugely different. We see now what is different is a collaboration, Swift blockchain, Ana Crypto, which I haven't talked about, Ana Crypto and MetaPath on May 12th, 2023, less than a year ago. They talked about discovered a dynamic collaboration between Swift blockchain and crypto MetaPath. That's different. You got to stop looking at MetaPath like it's just another word. MetaPath is your deal. That is the cornerstone that completes the Swift ideology, the technology, by integrating what it does as a blockchain into MetaPath. That's the engine, and you got to see it. You got two hands, right? So if you have two hands, let me look at you right in the camera. If you got two hands, then if someone says you can grab as much money you want from the bank for free without going to jail, but you can use two hands, you would grab as much as you can, right? Well, what they said, you can bring your family in as many as you want. Would you go in the bank if it was legal and grab as much money you wanted to with just your two hands and say, oh, no, that's okay. I'm okay. I'm good. No, you would get an aggregator, You would multiply your hands by more family members. You would call everybody you knew, your mom, your auntie, your grandmama, everybody would be in that bank. And because you have multiple hands. So MetaPath is multiple hands, multiple paths in which you can acquire different currencies, different NFTs, and different access to gaming. That is the power. You got to give it respect where respect is due. Now, that's what's different. I hope that makes sense. And I hope that makes sense with that. So I hope that answers your question that I have about that piece. And let's see here. Let's keep going with the questions, and I still have a little bit more for you. Let's see what other questions we have. I'm going to pull it up here. There we go. I'm reading it just to make sure, and I'll be in the comments in a second too. All right. So that's what makes it different this time. The next question, do you know that the current Coinbase 10 SWIFT balance is only 56 million? In May 2023, it was 640 million. So I did not know that. So I appreciate you bringing that to my attention. I spent a lot of time researching a lot of different avenues, but with all research, you have to focus on a key area that you want to look through. And some things you just can't cover it all. I can't cover it all, but I think that is great that someone's doing analysis and looking at the wallets and looking at that Coin 10 wallet for Coinbase and finding out if this is true. And I haven't looked at the facts. So if someone has, please post a video. You all can contribute, create a video, tag Underdog Research Channel or hashtag Underdog Research Channel so I know about it, and do your research and post it online. Even if you got one viewer, and show how you chased each and every wallet and how you was able to see that it was reduced from 640 million to 56 million. That scarcity is happening. Likely what you suggested is that it's being ready to be listed on another exchange. I have information about that, but not yet, folks. I got to get through these questions. All right. So let's go to the next question. All right. And the next question is, it's going to be speculative external factors. So let's go through it. So this is all speculation, folks. So let me bring it up and talk about this. Is Swift Coin a good coin? This is a speculative question. Put a clear delineation of my video. You're asking me my personal opinion about the project. So I'm taking off the research hat right here, taking it off, and I'm answering this question in my personal opinion. Please note that. My personal opinion is that what I have seen is the utility of this token is universal and general in nature. And that universality and that generality of it allows it to be integrated and used by multiple people, multiple retail and corporations. And for that reason, like super glue or multi-purpose glue, in my opinion. In my opinion, this is a project that is not siloed. And I think aspect of it makes it marketable. I think personally, this is me. I think personally that we often try to, in the retail space, think only XRP will do this and only LM will do this. All banks are going to do this. That is not true. That is what we do. Republicans, Democrats, we create these silos. But in business, it's different. In business, multiple companies will get multiple avenues into a market, and they look at cost, they look at integration, technology, strategic planning. There's other factors. But since we're not in business oftentimes, we make comments based on our limited knowledge about how business works. And I'm not calling out anyone. I'm saying this. If you're asking me, is the Swift a good coin? I can't answer without giving you the research. My research has led me to believe that based on what I see, that coin has very good utility. Now, I also recognize you can be the best project technology in the world and you can still go out of business. So with everything I look at, I am saying that Swift Coin could go out of business tomorrow. Pause. And Swift Coin could go all the way to Mars tomorrow. I accept the risk to my thought that project. I own it just like you have to own it. No one can tell you that if it's a good coin. But what I can tell you is based on the white paper, based on the research, based on the billionaires who invested their money to make money, based on the things that I have seen, I have never seen a company so well connected and clear to us that we have released through Black Rule Investing, the Third Eye, Shook Focus, and my videos. I also want to take the time to talk about someone else's videos too that talked about this. And I'm going to see if I can find them in the chat. I saw them earlier. Crypto Nation. Crypto Nation, I have seen his work on this topic from the very beginning, way before I ever knew the name of this project. Crypto Nation was doing deep research and providing you not only his research, but also going into such things such as price action, which I don't cover at all. I think that we have to thank those individuals who are already out there talking about these things and giving you their time and research. So Crypto Nation, he knows about this stuff and he's been talking about it. And so we're going to take the time to acknowledge Crypto Nation. If you haven't been to his channel, I subscribe. You should too. Subscribe to Crypto Nation. You should see him. Check out his work. He gives weekly updates on several projects and a few that I haven't talked about that I will be talking about soon. And I hope to be able to work and have an opportunity to talk about research with another researcher such as Crypto Nation. So thank you very much, Crypto Nation. So that's what I believe. I believe that Swift Coin has great, it's general enough for anyone to use, that these companies are competing. But if I'm going to compete, I'm going to have many bats, not just one bat. I'm going to have many functions, not just one function. I think that general nature makes them a very good competitive project in this technology space. All right. What is your price prediction for this project in the next coming years? I have no idea. I don't do price predictions at all. I never can give you price predictions, and no one can. Although people like to give price predictions because price predictions is kind of like a socially acceptable thing that people like to do to get followers and subscribers. Whether I have 1 subscriber or 0, I'm doing this research for my own benefit, and I share it with you so that you may be able to benefit from my own research. I don't do price predictions. I have no idea. So prediction. Let's go. Do you have any price targets in which you will still start taking out your profits? Again, that's giving trading advice. I will not and I cannot legally give you trading advice. That's not my forte. And I also don't want to lose the little things I have in life. So I can't give you any trading advice. I have no fiduciary responsibility to you. Now, this is what I will say. I will say this. This is my personal view on this question. I am not I can watch the market all day. Traders who really trade, they're watching the minute marker and they're looking at the 5 minute and the 5 minute. I don't have that type of time. And most of you don't either. What I do is I do the research and I make the best decision possible based on research and the things I've gathered, and I take an opportunity and I understand the risk and I get into it and I forget I have it. I leave it alone. I leave it alone. I don't look at it. And then I will check periodically, a few weeks at a time. I look and see what people are saying, and I'll go back to the market. As long as I can increase my position, whether it's 10%, 20% or more, I'm happy. I found is, and I've made this mistake even as recent this year, is I didn't trust myself and I questioned my own research. And not that I didn't trust the research, is it's the power of many voices. When many people are talking at you, it's sometimes we're in a position that we're influenced. And I was hearing people doing things, and I took a position, and I had multiple millions of the project, and then I moved, selling it too early, thinking it would go back down at a certain time, and it didn't. It went up, and so I had to buy it again, and I lost my position. Don't do that. I don't know why I was like that. Everyone makes mistakes. I made a mistake, and I own that mistake, and I understand that in the future, I stick to what I know. If I've researched it and I think it's a good place to get into, I get into it at the best rate that I believe I can get into it, and I'll stick with it until it goes up. I don't make any more moves. If it's up above where I bought it, that's when I'll make my move personally. So hope that answers your question. All right. In the next 12 to 18 months, what do you think the market cap is going to be for SWFT Coin? I believe from what I've seen, and this is again more of a prediction, this is speculation, and no one knows. How can we know what the market is going to do? No one knows. No one knows. But what we've seen in the past is it went from last year about a 4 to 5 million market cap. Then that's when I got into this thing and I saw it. Then on March 5th, 2024, what happened, folks? You're not watching my videos. You don't know what happened with SWFT Coin. Then something happened with John Shin. Something happened with SWFT Coin. And we saw $111 million in volume happen on March, what? 5th, 2024. Why was that? And that made the market cap go from 5 million to currently it's where? It's about 20, 25 million, right? That's one day. So if in one day we've not seen those less than 20% of a penny prices, and even right now it's double with the Bitcoin being down, the market being down, it's still at the 4. It's still double where it was when I first started looking at this thing. You know, we got years. My research told you that based on experts who are in the market, like Fidelity, they're looking at this as an investment. And let me see if I can find it for the fourth quarter of 2024 for increases. So I'm sticking to what they're saying. I'm going to actually bring this up right here. If you watch my video, let me take this off. Catherine Young, that's where I get a lot of my information when I'm looking at the China Fidelity International Investment Director. I found out about her as I was looking at the patents and saw that SWFT Coin connection with XNXN Shin with the patent for Fidelity. She is that connection to China, and you can look at her information on Fidelity International. And I'm going to bring this up because this goes into another question. This is what she says. Let me read this to you. Fidelity, the next rally in China, Chinese equities will be alpha driven and contrarian value strategy, argues Catherine Young, April 17, 2023. The name of the investing game is to find winners. For a long time, these winners earned passively or just by buying names that have heavy exposure to reopening trade. But all that seems to have changed. Catherine Young of Fidelity International argues the next rally, that's what you want to know, folks, will be alpha driven, or put another way, individual company earnings and stories are more important than ever. Here I put in green what she says. It will be the market leaders across all industries, just like SWFT Coin can touch all industries, folks, that should deliver good earnings. So she says that this can deliver good earnings in the market leaders, good market share, good strategy. Is Swift Coin doing a strategy? I'm using her research in the China market, and I'm applying it to a token that is 65% of the people that they're in that area of Silicon Valley is Asian, and that they also have a direct connection with China, with John Shin and Ramble Land and Draper University and all this piece right here. These will likely next part of the recovery. That's what she says. But she also goes in, but she also cautions the famed names like Alibaba and Tencent, which have been a steep in share price falls, may not experience the easy share price growth. So big companies may not see the growth that we're looking at, but these small companies that are leaders, like this Swift blockchain has been, and MetaPath, that's what she sees. So I'm going to go with her. Made in China 2025 versus Make America Great Again. So I want to talk about this really quickly. It goes into that question. Now, what is that? We want to know. And I'll answer your questions in the chat. I want to get through all the questions that were asked before, so I want to make sure I do that. Let's go to this piece. I'm going to bring it up. Here we go. Made in China 2025 versus Make America Great Again. Now, this is not political, but we have to talk about the narratives. We know narratives drive price. We know narratives drive everything, right? So let me pull up the question that this narrative goes with. Let me pull this up. Thank you for being patient. And here we go. So in the next 12 to 18 months, that's what I talked about in my video. I said, I'm not talking about right now, folks. When I talked about that video of Swift Coin, please watch it. I gave you that there. I said, I'm not talking about right now. I said in 12 to 18 months. She says 12 to 18 months. I believe what she is saying. She has billions of dollars to her disposal, as Fidelity is international, and people who do this for a living, who say that in the end of the fourth quarter, that's when we should see a rebound. And who specifically? We should see these leaders in the markets and these big companies, not so much, but these small companies with big dreams and big economic growth and broad investment. That's who they're looking for. So 2024 to 2025, if you're in it right now and you're saying, oh, I'm just looking at the next month, then my content may not be the right fit for you, because I have no idea about what's going to happen after the next halving. I actually think, and I want to say this real quick, I actually saw the market was going to crash. It always does. It crashes right before these halvings, and then it's not until it's delayed. It's 6 to 8 months later. That's when I've seen the most growth. So I don't think it's going to be astronomical right now. That's my personal opinion. But I do know, based on these experts in this market, like she is, that she thinks it's going to be as well 12 to 18 months, and I believe her. So 12 to 18 months, that's what they're looking at. And so I think that that's important. Now, Made in China versus Make America Great Again. Now, that's the slogan we're saying U.S. is Make America Great Again. We know with a particular political campaign, and Made in China is their narrative. So investors ignore China at your peril. The country is the biggest contributor to global economic growth. The global, that's everyone, babe. That's everyone. And its broad investment universe offers opportunities across a range of emerging industries. Challenges do exist, especially around high level of regulation. And let me put this down, high level of regulation, but one investment director believes there is a great potential to be found among the country's domestic businesses. Catherine Young is the investment director with Fidelity International. She says initiatives introduced by the Chinese government, specifically the U.S. 1 trillion, one belt, one road initiative, and Made in China 2025 policy. The state-led industry initiative to make China dominant in a global high-tech manufacturing are helping to open up its capital markets. The Made in China 2025 story is key from a government to corporate perspective and consumer point of view, too. Young says many companies are receiving subsidies or support from government if they can prove they're a part of the strategy. So are climbing up the value chain and becoming a lot more innovative. What's really fascinating is that you can actually see the research and development and innovation coming. So I think that's important. Let me take this off of that piece right here at the bottom. What's really fascinating is that you can actually see the and innovation coming through as a result. Let me tell you this. I told you about that part. Look, the EB5, someone probably saw that and it's like, hey, I don't need to know that. How can we invest if we're not looking at the meat and the glue and all of it and how it works together? That's what my research uncovers for you. Is I'm sharing something new. Let's learn from that. The EB5 investment, governments are giving their innovators this funding because it's a race, an arms race in technology. No different race to get to the moon, folks. This is a race with the narrative being China wants to dominate in technology, and America wants to dominate too. And as much as you might have this narrative, as like she was saying, Made in China 2025, make America great. If that's what you want to think about is them against us, they are, as they said, the biggest contributor to global economic growth is China. And so as much as we want narratives that we're fighting, they buy a lot of stuff from us and we buy a lot of stuff from them. This is a business deal. They're trying to negotiate to get a better deal, and we're trying to negotiate to get a better deal. And here's the opportunity. We as retail investors, we're just trying to pick up the crumbs. Just pick up the crumbs, folks. The crumbs show me that those crumbs that these billionaires and millionaires are trying to make, if we can just get a little piece of it, a little crumb, just a little bit, that'll make life-changing well for us. So let them fight. But they're doing it legally. So China's like, hey, you don't want us to be in technology? Sure, we'll use your EB5 program. You created it, United States, and so they're using it. And the government is still using these innovators, as we see with Fidelity, and creating that whole ETF, XNXN Shin, a whole ETF that we use in the United States was created by a Chinese a person who created this piece, along with other people as well. My point is, it's not about China and America. It's about the reality. The reality is, at the end of the day, we're all competing on a major levels and small levels, but we're also at the same time collaborating. And so that's what I want to show you. So I think that's going to make a big deal for price, you know? And let me keep going. I'm almost done, and I'll be in the comments here in a second. I want to make sure I answer all the questions that were asked previously by the community. And so let me bring this up. All right, here we go. This question is about accessibility. Let me take this down. All right. When I try to access Android and iOS app, it's not available. Swift can be purchased on and accessible in the US, but it doesn't seem that the US can use its utility. That's true. If you're trying to use, and I have a slide for this one, if you're trying to use Swift Pro, it's not available for US places. So what should you do? I'm going to right now. I've talked about it, but I think that it's important that we all look at that. And that is, you should be using MetaPath. MetaPath is the answer to your question, and it's a solution for you. So if you path, that will be your best bet for you to be a part of this. I thought I had it here, but I can't find it. So anyway, use MetaPath. MetaPath will do it. So you don't have to use Swift. Don't be stuck on using Swift Pro. pick up your phone, download MetaPath app. If you watch my channel, I'll be giving a lot of videos moving forward about MetaPath, how to use it, how to download it, how to connect your wallets. I'm going to walk you through step by step. It's going to take me a while to get through that. So I hope that y'all in my metaverse space. I keep telling you, you're going to miss out if you don't do it. If you don't have the initiative to go to my metaverse space when I'm sending videos through there, that's on you. All I think I can do is do my research and tell you where to find it. And so let's go to the next question. Where are you based and why can't you access SWIFT app in your area? I'm based in the United States of America and I can't use it because it's prohibited to use SWIFT Pro. Why is it prohibited? Probably regulations on that particular company. There's been a ban on different things in the United States for the last few years, just like China has had a ban. But what's not banned at this current moment, at the time I'm doing this video, is MetaPath. So please consider using MetaPath. All right. And I think this is the last question, folks, before I go to y'all's questions in the comments. How can U.S. users utilize SWIFT given the restrictions? You can't use MetaPath. All right. That's my point is use MetaPath. Stop trying to use SWIFT Pro. Sure, some people have other means. I'm not going to talk about those means of using SWIFT Pro. I'm just going to use MetaPath because it currently uses all the technology and you do the swap. That's all you need to do. Also, you can connect to your MetaMask wallet and other wallets that we've talked about. So MetaPath, I will show you. I will talk about it. You need to tell others. You need to start using it. You care about your investment. Start using it. All right, folks, that is all of the questions from all of my videos. I covered every single one. Now it's 2 hours in. I'm going to go over to the comments now and let's go to the top. And I'm going to look for some questions. So there'll be some pauses. And then I need to show you one thing and I'll be done with this particular content. Please make sure that you like and subscribe and all that stuff with the third eye. I'll be there for a lot of my collaborations. The third eye. Take a moment right now. Go to it. I'll wait. The third eye. That's THIRD.I. The dot third dot I, and you can find it on YouTube. And you need to be there because I'll be there and I won't post anything. You're like, where's Underdog Researcher? I'm on the third eye. Or I'll be in the metaverse space. If you want to talk to me directly, then I'll be giving links to my metaverse spaces and tell you what time I'll be there. I'll give you ways that we can communicate, voice, text, all chill out and learn and do research together. So let's get into the comments. So let me go through. I hate the awkward silences, but let me put this on pause as I look through the comments. All right. And I'll give a few people I want to talk to. Let's see here. All right. Once again, Crypto Nation. We want to give him a shout out because Crypto Nation has been giving content on SWIFT Coin. And he has great content. I watch his content. I've watched every video 3 times. No joke. Every video on something I'm interested in, I watched multiple times. I encourage you to do the same with my videos, just so you can have all the information you need. It's your money. You need to know the good, the bad, the ugly. That's what I would do. But it's your money. You do what you want to do. All right. Now, see here, Binance not available in my country. I buy sell SWIFT on Pancake Swap. Okay, so that's someone giving you how they get their SWIFT. Is Coinbase wallet a good alternative? You know, I never have used a Coinbase wallet, but that doesn't mean I won't in the future. Maybe it is. I think that's more of you're asking my opinion. Since I have never used it, I can't give you an opinion on it. But it's a custodial wallet where you have control over it. So with that, the keys, the private keys you have to keep up with. Hey, use it. Use whatever fits your narrative. What's best for you. All right. Here we go. I got Phantom Beat. He's been rocking with me for over 3 years. Thank you, Phantom Beat. I do both Pancake and Coinbase. He's giving some information out there. All right. Just downloaded the MetaPath app. That's what I'm talking about, folks. If every single person that is here who has even one token in SWIFT, download the app right now and tell all of the people that you talk to download the app. I will get you the information about how to use it, how to connect it. If you don't figure it out on your own, it's coming. I just have a lot of stuff I have to get out. And so that is how you protect your investment. You want to know when, Moon, when will you take the action about your own investment? All right. Thank you for downloading the app. All right, let's keep going. When do you think we're going to see gains? I have no idea. No clue. I can't speculate. Speculation is just people want to hear someone else say something that they have confirmation bias. I could say, oh, I think it's going to do this. I think it's going to do that. And it's just, where did I get this information from? I try to give objective research, but if we go with Catherine Young said from Fidelity, she sees the fourth quarter of this year for China, which this company is heavily associated with the connections in China, is to see some companies being the alpha leader in the market and into 2025. So for me, I'm looking at still 14 to 18 months. I don't care what it does. I'll just keep collecting and do what I need to do and learn about this project as I go. All right, let's keep going. When Swift, I don't know. That's the wrong Swift too, but I have no idea when it's going to be 2000%. Let's keep going. All right, Crypto Nation, only 18.2 million market cap right now. Okay, it went down from 25 million at the time in which this video was done. It went down to 18.2 million. It was at 5 million back in January and about October of last year. Still up, so that's good. And when it's down for retail investors, that's good too, I guess, if you want to get into this project. All right. So many giants sleeping with Swift and XDC. All right. Let's see what else. Let's see here. Someone on Twitter X today mentioned Swift was having their investment meeting next week, meaning their devs will be out in the public eye. Have you heard anything about this? Hoping it's true. No, I haven't. Robert McCormick, I haven't heard anything about that. I haven't looked for it either. I've been looking and compiling and synthesizing information about the MetaPath. I found a magnificent connection to the MetaPath. I'm telling you, it's amazing. And that's the new video will be called Premeditated Wealth with MetaPath. But I have not looked at that. But please leave a comment with a link for anything associated with it. I will get back down to it. I just have to stay focused on what I'm looking at this time, but I definitely want to look at it. All right, let's take this off. How can you purchase MetaPath? You can't. Swift Coin is the engine. That's a great question. So Swift Coin is the engine. So if you hold Swift Coin at the time in which this video is being done, that is what receives the fees for on-ramping and off-ramping money, NFTs, technologies. They get a fee, and they have over 800 cryptocurrencies, 50 blockchains, and they are going to get a little bit of fees. And you also can get 50% off, and there's ways to even do free swapping if you have Swift Coin, which I'll be talking about on MetaPath. So you can't buy a MetaPath token. And I was looking for it too. I'm like, where's the MetaPath token? That's all we typically look at. But no, the whole infrastructure of MetaPath is reliant on Swift Coin as the engine to do all this. That's the fees. Everybody has to buy it in order to use MetaPath as the fee. That's the utility. Have you come across any information that Swift actually has a blockchain protocol? Now, if I understand your question correctly, Swift blockchain is their protocol. I'm hoping that that's what you're asking. And Swift Coin is the utility token for that blockchain. Now, I see what you're saying. I think your question is more of a technological question. Have I come across any actual information that Swift blockchain itself is a protocol? Yes, you can find that information in their patent, and you can their patent application, and you can also find that information on their white paper. In the patent application, it goes through the technology, the meat and potatoes of how it works, just like it does for Fidelity. And it's I think it's 18 pages if I remember correctly. So I have seen that. I was planning on doing a video going through the patent aspect, but at the end of the day, I don't know if that would be really necessary for people to understand what for most people, that would be more of a technical piece, but that's available. You can find that patent information. Go to links in the description of the video, or go to my previous videos, look up SWFT Coin patent and trademark, and I go through and I show you where I got it from the USPTO, United States Patent and Trademark Office, and you can go to SWFT Coin, look at their patent, and get that information about the blockchain. All right, and let's see here. Good work. Could you please tell the name of Coin Swift? Good work. Could you please tell the name of Coin Swift? Okay. So if I understand your question correctly, SWFT is the ticker symbol. That's the name, if that's what you're asking me. Is Swift Coin designed with a AMM? I'm not sure what that is. Phantom Beat. Hit me up in the comments with a little bit more information. I'm not exactly sure. All right. Now, folks, I'm going to, I think I've answered all the questions, and I'll thank you very much. Underdog, may God bless you. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. I'm glad that y'all enjoy the research. Now, I want to take the time. I'll be doing another video, but it took longer than I had expected to, but I'm hoping that I answered every question that were in my comments. And so I want to share something with you. Well, a part of trying to ensure that we all are staying up to date, I want to share this with you. Give me a moment, please. Here we go. All right. Now, what I'm sharing with you right now, I want to make sure you can see everything. This is my metaverse space. All right. All right. And I want to share this with you because this is where my community will be. This is where you can find me. And I'm going to walk you through how to connect to the information. For the next couple of weeks, you will not see my content on the World Wide Web as frequently. I will be streaming it directly in a metaverse space, but it's right there. You just got to take a step to take your step to find out. So this is me. All right. And I'm looking around. All right. I haven't logged in. I just want you to see. And this is the Underdog Metaverse community. The links will be in the description of my video. You can fly when you're here. And I'm going to go to the bottom and you can just press the F button and to fly or to walk. Here's my Centrians garden to space. And now when you walk into the Underdog Metaverse space, I will get to the first floor, but I want you to walk straight. And this is a section within the Underdog community where you can go walk Indigo Saint. And all you have to do is walk right keyboard or your finger if you're on your phone. You'll see video with Indigo Saint, music video because he is an artist, mathematician, and crypto enthusiast. You'll see the collaboration with the third eye and artwork that is here in this space when you're downstairs. On the left-hand side of the space, you will see a door, and you'll see this is the Underdog channel collaboration. Now on the right-hand side, this is Indigo Saint. So if you didn't know what he looked like, this is him. This is who you hear when you see the third eye. And also a mix of with Saint infused and Indigo Saint inspired. Now I'll get to this. This is a teleport where you can go to different spaces that I have in the Underdog Metaverse. And here is Indigo Saint music. So if you want to listen to his latest video, you see right there that little octagon. If you're on a computer, you'll double click, or if you're on your phone, you'll double tap, and that will start the video. And this is his latest music video that you can watch about Indigo Saint. That's the music you hear when he plays the song, and watch this awesome music video. Link will be in the description. Now, if you want to hear the third eye, you'll also go here, and this is separated. You can go through the doors in the metaverse space, and this is on the right-hand side, just so you can see this, the right-hand side down the stairs, and you can see more digital artwork, Indigo Saint, another teleport area, which we'll get to in a moment. And then you can be here on the Third Eye podcast. And you can listen to the Third Eye. Same thing, simply double click with your finger if you're on your phone, or double click with your mouse, and this will start the Third Eye. Just so you know, you can start and stop any of the videos by simply clicking on them again with your finger to stop them. Now, what I want you to notice is this is just space within the Underdog community, but you can go to the Third Eye Metaverse by simply pressing the zoom button on your phone and then double clicking with your finger or double click by the teleport. It'll ask you, do you want to teleport to this location? And you will see that you'll be in a whole different location. And this is also a teleport you back to the Third Eye over in the Underdog community. And here each week, daily, you will see his video collaborations with the Underdog Research Channel in this space. Outside here, you want to explore, folks. It's not just me. There's other things you can see in the metaverse. This is by gallery. So you want to look around, you can see this is the Third Eye Metaverse space. Isn't it beautiful? Awesome, awesome. And I'm going to take you a little flight around the Third Eye Metaverse space so you can see it. The link I will put in the description after this video so you can go. And this, you'll see, this is all Indigo Saint. But around us, we have other built metaverse. Check out their spaces. Now, going back, I'm going to also bring you back to the Underdog Metaverse community because I want you to know how you can find different content and find different ways to explore. And I have things for you. We're going to go back by teleporting, double clicking, pressing zoom, double clicking, press O. Now I'm back where I started. I'm on the first floor. Now here, this is the Underdog Metaverse community area. These are all my previous videos, different ones I've taken, and you know, simply see what video it is. For example, this is about investigating Shiba Inu fake news I found about fake billboards and using different software. You double click on the back and you can watch that video. I will start updating this with my top videos that you may want to watch at any time, and simply double click and you can find out about Tailcoin. My first video I shared publicly on Tailcoin, and you can find out what that video is about. And if you wanted to stop, just simply click on it again with finger, zoom on your phone, and then double click and you can, or single click and you make it stop. These are all those videos, but we're still not done. There's still more. Another one about fake crypto scams. I looked up research. Here's Swift, the episode with the collaboration. If you want to watch that, you can simply go to this and you can see there. If you click on the picture, it will send you a link, and that link is to the Underdog Research Channel, just so you know. But that's not the whole point. It's you need to see. And so that's available to you as well. All right. So I want to make sure that you saw that. Let me also show you one more thing. Let's go through. So as we go through, we can go upstairs. Now, this is where my videos will be listed, the next upcoming videos. This is the Underdog Metaverse community space. Here is the Underdog Metaverse community area with different icons. You'll know that you're in the right space, in the right channel when you're see here. And it has watch the video, click play. So click the Underdog, and here you can see the billionaire plan or whatever the update video that's playing in that area. But there's still more, folks. If you want to go to the roof, you can go to the roof. But I'm going to go right back around. I want to show you this. Here is the Metaverse Transporter. And here's another space, and here's the top spot. So if I click on the top spot, this will bring me back to another metaverse space I have plenty of metaverse spaces, folks, and there you can watch different videos as you see, it's developing all around me, but I wanted to show you this space. All right, and let's go down in this and look around. And that's also something that you can look at. Now, going back, it's going to, sometimes it takes a minute to load because I have a lot of stuff going on right now. But going back through, let's go to this area. Let me go ahead and press the back button for you can see it. So that's what I want you to see. So if you want to be engaged, please make sure you visit these areas. This is where you will watch my next upcoming videos and in other areas I have. But I wanted to show you one little final facet that you should know. And let's go check this out. So here, you can use these as teleporters. So I'm going to teleport to these different locations. This is where you've been going. The top spot is the top, and this is the Metaverse Lounge. And here I have my videos as well. So I wanted you to be aware of this area. Now, as you go through, again, this is the area. You can click on these zooms on your phone or teleport, press OK. Last but not least, and now we're in the next space. Last but not least, I want to show you, and this is the top spot. I want to show you a few things you should know. So one, you can look here at the top. Click on this 3-line space. You can change the sound effects by taking them off. You can change the audio that you hear inside of each of the metaverse spaces. You can turn on and off the map. You can turn off the ambiance. So sometimes there might be outside noises that you don't like. You can turn those off. Or people are chatting and you don't want to chat. Right here, you click on the chat function. This is where you can communicate. So I can say, welcome to the metaverse. And whoever's in that room can see that. You also have other things you can do, such as send emojis. You can backflip. There's a lot of stuff you can do. And last but not least, you can even do things such as talk with voice, and I can talk to you. So I wanted to show you this piece while we're here. Check out the metaverse space that I have. I'm going to go ahead and stop sharing. Check out that metaverse space, folks. Go to the links in the description of my videos. In every video, I'll start putting a link. Make sure you go out there, and then I'll be giving you instructions about how I can give you different Underdog Research swag and how you can get this information and how you can get the content. Soon, I will be giving exclusive content that only individuals who have certain NFTs that I can get to you can access these spaces. So I want to make sure that everyone has an opportunity to get this information, and that is what I want to tell you. All right, and let me see what else here. Last question. MetaPath did release a Medium article discussing the possibility of launching a MetaPath coin. Oh, that's great. So we have to look at that. This is awesome. I want to, if you don't mind, make sure you send me that link for that information. So last but not least, let me take this off. Folks, I have went through each and every comment. We've been here for a while, and I got all the comments that anyone has ever left on my platform. Thank you very much for watching. Thank you for supporting the Underdog Research Channel. Make sure you subscribe to the Third Eye. And if you don't see me, that's because you didn't subscribe to the Third Eye and Underdog Research Channel. Do it now, folks. Make sure you get over there. And then if you do that, you will get all the information. I want to make sure that I give a shout out to everyone who's been here supporting the channel, supporting the efforts. And I really appreciate it. And I think that it's important that we are all doing that. We're all trying to support the information. And I think that's important. So thank you very much for doing so. I appreciate you greatly. And I hope that you find this information good. And I hope you find this information helpful. And that's all I got, folks. I don't see any more comments. And if you, oh yes, so thank you very much. It says this would be fire on Apple Vision and Pro. You can actually do that. You can get connected to the metaverse in the 3D vision as well. I just showed it to you in 2D. So that's it. That's all I have, folks. Make sure you go to the Underdog Metaverse channel. Make sure you go to the metaverse links. Start using the technology. If you don't, you're going to miss the information. And that's all I got, folks. Until next time, this has been the Underdog Research Channel. Thank you for watching and have a good day. And have a good day. That's what happens when you go live. Take care.